Greetings and welcome to our YouTube page. My name is Jimar and today I'm going to be speaking about Mercury in retrograde. Mercury will be in retrograde this year 3 times. Right now I am speaking about the present time, which is May 18th through June the 11th. We start to feel its effects 2 weeks prior, and 2 weeks after it's still lingering. Mercury is the closest planet to us. Its revolutions are anywhere between 3 to 4 times a year. That's why it affects us 3 to 4 times a year. It affects us when it's getting close to us, when it's closest to us, because it goes by so fast. It leaves like a dust behind and everything out of control. Mercury is also the planet of communication. So basically, when it's next to us, it kind of stops for a brief moment for those 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And it makes it feel like anything that's associated with Mercury just stops. For instance, communication. All forms of communication get stuck. Things don't flow as far as speaking, listening. There's also anything that's ruled with communications. If you work with any types of communication, editing, selling things, radio. Another thing that Mercury has control of is, for instance, communication of all different forms, like computers, GPS. It's all going to seem like it's out of whack. So you might have car trouble. You might find that the computer within your car starts to give you trouble. You might find that your own computer starts to give you trouble. You might find that things break around you. Microwaves are very popular for breaking your batteries in your car. Charge up and then they're gone. And you just bought a battery, but it'll be gone. You won't have a battery. It's the phenomena of Mercury in retrograde. Now, the beauty of Mercury in retrograde is that everything around us is cookie. We're not communicating. It's a perfect time to just stop. Be still. It's 3.5 weeks, and it's the perfect time to just go within, to recognize that things inside of you that have not been moved in the last period, in the last cycle, need to move. That the communication with yourself is very important at this time. That's what you should really be focusing on, is the communication with yourself. Having those really deep, intimate talks with yourself. Discovering things about yourself that you didn't want to, or you just didn't even know that you were capable of. So everything's going to know you. Everybody's going to annoy you. It's not a good time to buy a house, get a divorce, make important life decisions. It's not the right time to, for instance, quit your job or sign any type of legal paper or anything like that. It's just the perfect time for introspect. Communicate with yourself. That's why we're given this opportunity 3 to 4 times a year. We're given the opportunity to clean house, to get in there, to deal with ourselves, to be afraid, to face our fears and go for it. It's the perfect time to seek counseling, to go to an advisor. It's the great time to speak to your spirit guides, to do lots of meditation, to start a spiritual practice. It's actually one of the busiest times of the year for me as a therapist and as a psychic medium, where I have lots of people coming because everybody is like, what's going on? I can't communicate with myself. Others can't communicate with me because you're not supposed to be communicating with anybody but you. And if you're having a hard time communicating with yourself, that means there's a lot going on. So take advantage of Mercury in retrograde. Invite it to be your friend. So that next time that it does come in, you're better prepared and you know how to embrace it and dance. It's the perfect time right now to unbuckle that car seat. Know that you're safe within your car. That's why you bought that car. You don't always have to have on your seatbelt. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable to yourself. If there's anything that I can do for you, shed any light on any situation, feel free to contact me. My information is below. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope I shed some light. Thank you so much. Namaste.